I forget what the day is, but coming up is my 6 month, like my 6 month anniversary of being a content creator. I think it's like because I think I started streaming either the 4th or the 5th of May, 5th of November. So it'll either be the 4th or the 5th of May. It'll be this weekend, basically. I'm not going to do anything, because, no. Because, you know, yay, I've done 6 months. Yay. This is 6 months! Which is actually technically a lie. I actually started, so I've actually technically been streaming a year. I started streaming back in March of last year. Come on. There we go. I started streaming in March of last year. And I did it as like test streams, basically. And I just did it to test and see how I felt about it and things like that. And they were like hour-long test streams. And I did it for about a month or so. And then I stopped. Because I just wasn't in the right place at the time. I wasn't really geared up for streaming at that time. So there wasn't... I didn't feel the need to continue. So I stepped away from it and decided to get myself in a better place. And so I worked on myself, got myself in a better place. And then 4th, 5th November, I started streaming again. So I started streaming 4th, 5th November. And, you know, it started off well. And I started getting into it and slowly learning and things like that. And then I sort of, about 4 months in, I sort of hit a roadblock, and I just sort of, my growth just sort of stunted at one point. Like I wasn't growing, I wasn't going anywhere. And I just became very obsessive about it. And I became very obsessive about the numbers and about, you know, I was questioning myself, like, why am I not growing? Why am I not doing this, doing that? And, you know, in those type of situations, you're looking to say, okay, well, how can I improve? How can I, you know, be better? And one of the biggest pieces of advice that you get is, you know, review your VODs. Look back at your VODs and, you know, review it. Feel being able to say, yeah, exactly. It's insane. Because that's the thing, is like, look, I'll be honest, I haven't reviewed my VODs, and there is a reason for it, and you kind of just pointed it out. Because I feel like I've gone as far as I can. And allow me to explain. The thing is that I can only grow... Hear my voice? No, I don't necessarily hear my voice, but here's the thing. Oh, I have a dash. Oh, no, I don't. Here's the thing. I feel like I can only grow so far without having an audience. Like... You know, most of my time is just spent here talking to myself. The thing is that I can only go so far by talking to myself. You know, I can't... Because one of the major skills that is being a streamer is reacting to things. And I don't mean, like, reacting to videos. I mean reacting to your community, your chat, what is happening, and things like that, and having that type of conversation. I can't have that conversation. Well, no, I can have that conversation because I'm having that conversation with you, Annie. But, like, you know, normally I couldn't have that conversation because I'm here on my own. And so I'm literally just screaming into the void. So how am I supposed to grow as a streamer when I'm literally just screaming into the void? it's a difficult one. And I think that feeling... Hello? And I think that feeling of being isolated was driving me insane. Ah, damn it. Let's see one again. There's a way, but I don't think you're mentally ready. Explain, please? Networking, start doing collabs, you know, try the right, yeah. Yeah, networking and all that. Yeah. You're right, yeah. Oh, no! You despawned! I bet it's gonna... Yeah. Oh, that's the button I need to... Okay. I have to keep the... because of the controller. I'm gonna have to... I'll probably have to do some rebindings at some point. Or I just have to live with it. Where was I? Yeah, so I'd gotten like obsessed with the numbers, and I think there was a point of just like I kind of lost why I was doing this in the first place, and I just became obsessed with that. And I think at that point it was like, you know what, I need to step back. I think the breaking point was literally trying to use Instagram, because by God, the Meta Business Suite is... How can you create such a dysfunctional platform? Because that's the only way, the thing is, that is the only way you can schedule posts. That is the only way that you can schedule posts. And if you know, if you just want to normally post, you can do so. But if you want to schedule them, then you need to use their business suite. But literally, oh, this is going to be annoying. But literally, like, that's the only way you can do it. Honestly, that's what you're kind of get it. It's It's I talked about it. In fact, I think there's a short coming out in a few days about this. The idea of sort of content creation being a game of like which poison do you drink and things like that. You know, it's sort of, you've kind of got to be on everything basically. It's, yeah, you might not get much from platforms like Instagram and Blue Sky, but you might get something, like, you know, who knows. So it was, yeah, I'm gonna, oh god, can I get out of this? No, I can't. Alright, fine. That's very exciting. So yeah, it kind of drove me insane, and it got to the point that just doing this wasn't fun, you know, it just wasn't a fun thing to do. And that was, what do you want me to do, game? There we go. It just got to the point where it wasn't fun, and it was just miserable, and I just wasn't enjoying it. And I think I needed that time of just self-reflection, that time to just reflect on why I was doing this and what I wanted to do. And I think in the end I realized that I needed to just make it about something that I wanted to do. And just, you know what, I'm just going to come out here and do what I want to do on stream, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Which, it's annoying, because, like, you know, it is the right mentality, you know. And I think in the end I realised that, you know, I need to make the streams more enjoyable for me. Because if I'm not enjoying them, then no one's going to enjoy them. And that was the big thing. So I'm glad for the reset. Yeah, the market is oversaturated. Yeah, there's a lot of comment. Like, it's sort of, it is a bad time to come into the industry. Oh, come on. You know, yeah, there is a lot of oversaturated, and I think I just need to. I think honestly I just need to go back to basics and just sort of remember why it is I'm doing this. That was a cheap shot. And I think I need to remember, I am, yeah, you know, with persistence and patience, I might, you know, a lot of, you're right in saying a lot of big VTubers are falling down. I mean, you know, it is just, it's just business after all. No, this is no drama speedrun. I will say though, I do think I am right in one thing, which is that I came into content creation at the right time. I think if I'd come into content creation when I was younger, I don't think I would have mentally been prepared for it. And I don't think I would have been able to cope with it, because it is, you know, if you're sat there looking at it and thinking, oh, streaming's easy, well, go on, then give it a go. Like, if you think it's easy, go give it a go. Yeah, you sit here on your arse and play games, yes. But, like, the mental exhaustion, it can be mentally exhausting, you know. It can mentally drain you, because you're having to entertain for 3 hours, or maybe longer. So, like, it is definitely mentally, you know, it is mentally taxing. And I don't think if you're someone, like, if you're someone just coming out of school, college, university, anything like that, I don't think you're mentally prepared for something like this. And I think something like this can really, sort of get to you. Changing your tags to increase visibility. But what do I change them to? This is the point that I'm getting at. Is like, this is the thing that I'm getting at. Is like, it, you know, without having an audience, it's a lot of these things you just don't. Hang on, how did I get out last time? Oh, there we go. Up and all that. Like, again, a lot of those things I just don't know, because I am a solo creator. And when I say solo creator, when I say solo creator, I mean solo, you know. Yeah, it's, you know, you may see a lot of other streamers and, you know, they call themselves solo creators, but they have mods, they have friends, they have people that they can turn to. All of this, I've done on my own. Like, you know, I set it all up on my own, I run it all up on my own. I don't have people to turn to. That's something called analytics. Yeah, I do see the analytics, and like, I see which tags are good and which tags are not. But like, there's thousands of tags. Like, which ones, you know, which ones would be relevant? Which ones could help? Like, that's the thing that I'm getting at. Did you actually do it? No, I didn't. Thank you. Also, before you ask, Chill Penguin is technically the right move to make, because Chill Penguin is the easiest boss. It's the easiest boss to do without any weapons. So this is, as madness as this is the right move to do. But thank you. No, see, things like that help. But because a lot of this I've done on my own, I don't know what is right and what is not. And that was the thing that frustrated me the most. Was that I wasn't getting that feedback. And I was just putting myself in that, I was putting myself in a feedback loop of sort of, well, I'm not doing this, well, I'm not doing that, so what can I do? And it's like, well, because I'm sick of looking at videos on the internet of this, you know, you can get 1,000 views and da 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 da. I'm sick and tired of watching. I'm sick and tired of seeing them. Like, they have some good points, but just like a lot of them are just like farming you for you know, for their own benefit. So it's just, no, it's pointless. I'm sick of that. So like, you know, advice like that, like, oh, you know, there's 2 vtuber tags, or maybe you could try this tag. Like, that's actual genuine advice. Thank you very much. But because, you know, the majority of the time I am on my own and I'm just talking to myself, I'm not getting that type of advice. And so again, I just end up in this feedback loop, and that was the reason why I ended up crashing out, was because I was just stuck in that feedback loop, and I needed to take a step back and just go, right, let's look at this. What's the problem? You know, what can I do? Especially attracting attack. I'm not denying that. I see the attractiveness of the tag, but then what do I replace it with? That's the thing. It's like, I see that the tag is not working, I don't know what to replace it with in order to make it more effective. That's the main issue. Because again, if you know anything about Twitch tags, there's a lot of them. You know, it's not exactly, you know, and they don't really give you recommended. And we've always watched what big VTubers do. I mean, yes, I can watch what big VTubers do, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I'm having tags that are applicable to my stream. Like, at the end of the day, I want to be me. The British are really great, but general action. This combination, thank you. When you have someone to give you advice, suddenly things get a lot better, because that's, you know, it's actual constructive feedback. So to go back to an earlier point, I do think I am coming into this at the right time, you know. I think as has been witnessed recently, sometimes you can be a bit too immature, shall we say, for this type of thing, and you don't necessarily handle it the best way, which is disappointing to say. But I mean, overall, I feel better. I feel better. Like, I felt a bit rubbish this morning, and it was like, do I want to do this? Do I want to? Damn it! Do I really want to do this? But I do. You know, I think, you know, it is helping me as a person, and I think it's sort of twofold. It's, yes, it's helping me because, you know, I wanted to be more social and sort of learn new skills. But also I'm stubborn, and I've invested a lot into this, both time and money, and I feel at this point I have to go through with it, because otherwise I feel if I didn't it would be a waste. And I realise that that is a bad mentality to have. Like, you know, I recognise that that's not a good mentality to have as a streamer. That's not really an enjoyable mentality. All of this is I'm stubborn. I'm quite stubborn, unfortunately. Come on. There we go. And so unfortunately, like, I'm in this for the long haul. I'd like to think I'm in this for the long haul. And I'd like to think that I can get somewhere with this. The shorts have been doing... I forget if I said this. The shorts have been doing good, though. I've been getting a bit of traction off the shorts, which is good. So, you know, need to make more shorts. Need to make some of those more shorts content to try and bring that audience in. Damn it. That's good. Yeah, I need to rebind my dash. So it's good that something, you know, there is... Yeah. Let's restart. I'm going to rebind my dash, because I don't like having it on a button. And I think I'm going to change... so I want dash on you. Yeah, and we'll just leave it like that. I like having my dash on a trigger, because generally having... There we go. That one. I like having dash on trigger. But yeah, the shorts have been doing good. They've been picking up some traction. Been getting 1,000 views. Maybe 1,500. Like, that's good, you know, that's positivity. That is something to be positive about. Which is good. So it is a, you know, it is a slow and steady race. It is just like you say, persistence. It's, you know, you've just got to keep working away at it. And is it a pain? Yeah, it, you know, it has its, it definitely has its ups and downs, and especially when you feel like you're in a especially when you feel like you're in like this world where it's just you and you're stuck in a feedback loop. It's painful. In general, I would say 6 months. Yeah, it's been difficult. There's definitely times where I've sort of screamed and looked at it and gone, why am I here? Why am I doing this? But I think overall it has been pleasant. You know, alright, maybe the numbers aren't doing the best, but I think I'm learning a lot as an individual. It's been enjoyable. As, you know, as unbelievable as that may be, it's been a fun experience. And I think now that I've especially taken that break, and I think I'm revamping things. It, you know, it'll do that. Type of gameplay doesn't make it easily discoverable. Retro category is great, but it's huge. I feel like I'm just not getting discovered anyway. That's the thing. I feel like I'm at a point where it doesn't matter what category I'm in. I'm just not going to get discovered anyway. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those difficult ones. Because like before, I was putting myself in, like when I was playing Dead Cells, I was putting myself in that category. But the thing is that people are only really, that was stupid. People are only really looking out for people are only really looking out for streamers that can play at a high level, and I can't really offer that. The only game I could probably have a chance at of offering like that sort of putting myself in discoverability is Splatoon 3, because I can play Splatoon to quite a high level. Like when I was playing Splatoon 2, and I was putting, you know, hours and hours into it, I was top 5-10% in the world. Something like that. I was S+. I was S+. I was S+9, and I was X rank. I think my X rank was, on average, it was anywhere from on average, it was anywhere from like 2,000 to 22,000. So that probably 2,000 is more accurate. So like that's probably the best game. Like if I wanted to go play the high level play, it's difficult. But then it's also the question of why are you doing this, you know? Like, am I doing it because I want to enjoy it, or am I doing it because I just want the views? And I think that was definitely a question I was asking myself. And I think that was the problem that I had at the beginning. Was I was getting so obsessed with trying to go for the views and the counts and things like that, that I think I just wasn't enjoying it. And I think first and foremost I need to enjoy it. That is the main thing. Also, I have no idea where I'm going, by the way. But I'm sort of just taking the crow as it flies. I know I have to head right. That I do know. Like I say, it's been a good number of years since I played this game. Oh. It's been a good number of years since I played this game, so like... it's difficult to remember exactly how this game is played. Oh, nice. So yeah, realistically Splatoon 3 is the only game I could play that would give me like, you know, I could play it at a high level and I could put myself on like decent exposure. What about Minecraft? Minecraft is huge. Like, go check the Minecraft tag. Everyone's playing Minecraft. And plus as well, I just wasn't enjoying the game. Like, that's the thing. I can put myself in these types of tags, you know, I can play these games, but am I enjoying it? And I think honestly that's what I just want to get to. I think like, you know, I think honestly I just want to get to enjoying it. And I think, you know, I'm a bit sick and tired of playing games just to... exactly, just play what I want, exactly. I think I'm a bit sick and tired of trying to chase trends. And I think I'd rather just try and play to enjoy, basically. I think that's the main thing that I want to do going forward, is just not worry about chasing trends and play for me. I think that's the important thing.